9. Newt. Inside the colony complex, the troopers are on edge now. They want something to shoot at. Movement, someone from Hicks' team calls. A flash of something in a dark side chamber. A darting infrared trace. They flank it. Hicks' men lose the trace. Then something breaks from the shadows behind them. Drake spins, aiming. Hicks knocks his barrel aside, shouting, "Hold fire." Then more softly, "It's okay. You can come out." He takes off his helmet so as to less resemble an insect. A very dirty and terrified Newt Jordan steps out of hiding. Inside the dropship, Ripley watches the monitors as they question the little girl with limited success. She won't speak. She's totally traumatized. They ask her if there are any people alive. She shakes her head. Inside the dropship, Gorman orders the ground teams to work their way to the far side of the complex and stand by. Gorman is going to drop the armored personnel carrier, then join for an extended search. Ripley joins Gorman at the door of the APC. She wants to go. Outside the dropship, the APC is lowered by a massive hydraulic arm, operated from the cargo lock by Hay. It is a larger version of the colony tractors with servo gun turrets and, on the front, crab-like manipulator arms. Inside the APC is a monitor bay for directing operations. Apone takes the driver's seat and the vehicle rolls forward. Behind them, the dropship again dusts off, hovering as the boom arm retracts. Gorman directs them to make for the terraforming plant. Survivors may have taken refuge there. Inside the dropship, Hay stands at the boom controls in the still open cargo lock. Behind him, the massive arm rises slowly. From among the rams and hoses, a shape emerges. Hay senses it, turns, an impression of drooling jaws and a terrifying eyeless head. In the cockpit, Farrow, the pilot, unaware of Hay's situation. The cargo lock door clangs shut as the dropship banks, continues circling. In the 1983 version, Ripley is not present when the soldiers find Newt. Finding Newt in the building changes Ripley's mind to go in the building. Gordon and Ripley go to the buildings with the APC. The APC is deployed after the soldiers elect to investigate the nearby atmosphere processor. The dropship lands, and unlike the movie, the dropship uses a large robotic arm to deploy the APC. Once the APC is on the ground, Apone enters the vehicle in the driver's seat. After the APC goes down, Xenomorph gets on board and discreetly attacks Hay. This scene is in the movie, but much later. In addition, the backstory how Xenomorph's entry into the dropship is poorly presented in the film, leaving the viewer with a plot hole. According to the 1985 script, Spunkmeyer, in 1983 version character is called Hay, is delivering equipment to Bishop and is on his way back. He notices xeno slime on the dropship's ramp structure. In the 1983 version, the Xenomorph gets into the dropship from the cargo lock while Hay operates the boom arms. In 1983 version, the soldiers do not know the colonists are inside the atmosphere processor when they decide to investigate it. Rather, Gorman simply orders them to extend their search to include the structure. 10. Cocoons. In APC, Ripley has taken charge of Newt, getting her some warm clothes and hot chocolate from the dispenser. She stops Gorman's clumsily attempt to question her. Newt wordlessly puts her arms around Ripley's neck and starts to cry. Ripley hesitates. She awkwardly returns the embrace. Only Hicks seems to notice the tender moment as the others are heatedly discussing what they have seen. Ripley is ignored, unacknowledged. Hicks hands her a cup of coffee. As they approach the base of the vast structure, they are confronted by a bizarre sight. Among the refinery-like lattice of pipes and conduits, something new and not of human design has been added. Alien structure covers only the original hardware. The plant thrums loudly, its functioning seemingly not impaired. Gorman, Ripley, and Newt stay to look at the monitors as Apone leads his team off the ship and into the structure. Inside the alien structure, the team casts their flashlights along the walls. Their lights reveal a biomechanical lattice, convoluted like the marrow of some vast bone. They examine the wall material. The place seems almost alive. Ripley watches in horror as the monitors show the structure: detritus from the colony, furniture, rocks, wiring, and human bones, skulls, all fused with some epoxy-like substance, some sort of excreted resin. Apone deploys Hicks' team as a rearguard once more, entering a large chamber. Suddenly, Hicks's team faces a wall of living horror. The colonists have been brought here and entombed alive. Cocoons protrude from the niches and interstices of the structure. The cocoon material is the same translucent epoxy. The bodies are frozen in carelessly twisted positions, macabre image of frozen agony. Rib cages burst outward as if exploded from within, then a faint moaning, weeping shrill cries, sudden sobs, a chorus of the damned. They're not all dead. The victims are paralyzed, brought here, entombed in living death as hosts for the embryos growing within them. Apone draws closer. "Kill me," a choked whisper beckons him. Eyelids flutter. The woman's mouth moves, but no more sound. In APC, Ripley watches the screen, white-knuckled. Gorman turns away. The sound of wrenching comes over the general frequency. Apone turns to his team and says, "Flamethrower." Someone hands him the weapon. Suddenly, the woman's chest explodes with a gush of blood. A small, fanged head emerges. Apone pulls the trigger. Then the other troopers carrying flamethrowers open fire. An orgy of purging flames. The cocoons vanish in the shimmering heat. A shrill screeching begins, like the sound of madness or a siren made from fingernails on blackboards. Several scenes in the film have been expanded from the 1983 version. In the movie, the crew gathers at the colonists' premises to find out the situation, while Newt is asked questions. In the 1983 version, Ripley questions Newt as the APC heads for the atmosphere processor. This happens earlier, inside the colony, in the film. Additionally, Newt expresses strong feelings for Ripley. Ripley is initially suspicious. The scenes seen in the film in the colonist premises before the soldiers go to the alien's lair were not shown in the 1983 version. Also, without the character of Burke, there is no subplot regarding the company's attempts to obtain xenomorph specimens from the planetoid, and no corporate agent accompanies the mission to the colony. Therefore, the scene where facehuggers are found in the colonist lab is not in the 1983 version. Otherwise, the entire military expedition is simply a search and destroy operation, with the only objective being the investigation of the colony and the destruction of the xenomorphs, should they exist. In the 1983 version, the xenomorph hive covers the outside of the atmosphere processor as well as its interior. The hive structure itself incorporates detritus from the colony, furniture, rocks, cabling, even human bones into its construction, all bound up in the resin-like substance. The cocoon material is described as a translucent material, just like in the original Alien script. Several of the colonists cocooned within are still alive. In the movie, only one colonist is alive before the chestburster comes out. 11. Contact. In Cocoon Room, the structure come alive. From the niches in the walls, floor, ceiling, aliens emerge, lots of them. Becoming visible only as they move, the troopers don't see it. Smoke fills the room, cutting visibility to less than 2 meters. "Movement!" someone shouts. "Movement!" another, a scream. Apone shouts, snapping down his image converter. "Apone! Infrared! Fall back!" Aliens suddenly attack from all sides from the middle of the smoke. Tall, skeletal figures loom suddenly out of the smoke, striking like lightning. At APC, Gorman shouts into his mic, "Gorman, get out of there, Apone!" A bright muzzle flame flashes when someone fires. A gout of yellow acid slashes across Frost's face. They scream, dying. Ripley watches the monitor labeled Frost go black. His bio readouts flattened. The fight is over. The aliens are shimmering infrared silhouettes on the screen. More firing in Cocoon Room. The smart gun's muzzle flame flickers as Vasquez fires his gun. More screaming. A voice. Lydecker. Drake's hit. Apone. Watch your fire, damn it. In the APC, Ripley sees smoke welling out of the structure and flashes of fire rise and fall like a welder's arc. The screens and biomonitors keep score. Drake, Wierzbowski, Lydecker, and then Apone. All of them go flat line. Gorman. Get out of there. Fall back. Ripley. Too late. They're cut off. In the 1983 version, the fight scene in the alien hive is at the same time very similar to the movie, and at the same time it differs from the movie in many ways. Frost is killed when he is hit in the face by acid, whereas this death was given to Drake in the film. The small arms carried by the soldiers are repeatedly described as being plasma or directed energy weapons, as opposed to the standard projectile weaponry used in the movie. The soldiers do not have their ammunition confiscated in the hive and are free to open fire. Even so, Frost, Drake, Wierzbowski, and Lydecker all go down. However, Hicks, Hudson, Vasquez, and Dietrich all survive, as does Apone. Unlike in the movie, Vasquez manages to keep her smart gun after the ambush.
Come on! Come on, Drake! Come on, let's move it!
Come on, let's go!
It's blocked, man. We gotta go around.
Open the door!